Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a clan battles game, first of the season. Um, so going over the matchmaking enemy team. PHU, don't really know much about these guys. Uh, double Kremlin, Moskva, double Stalingrad, Smolensk, double Daring. Um, really gonna be a difficult sort of match for destroyers to push and contest caps, and that's basically the lesson plan for this game. How to deal with, radar spam. So right out of the gate, we actually have a miscommunication. Kleber and myself start going towards C cap. They actually wanted me to head towards B cap. Um, but we make the audible that they just didn't tell me where to go, and usually RDD plays C cap on this map. And looks like we're starting to change things up, and this was a game where we ended up, you see me slowing down right here to go back, and they just makes the call that the Kleber is faster. He's going to go to B, and I'll proceed to C. So my objective pushing up here is basically to establish spotting as early as I can around C cap. I don't want to let these radar cruisers get real close into cap. Um, don't want to let the Smolensk be able to sneak right into the cap. I want to try to get these ships spotted early, and if possible, if I'm outside of the radar range, also spot the Darings before they can step into C cap. That's compounded by this little island here. These little bumps on the island will break contact on enemy ships you're trying to spot, so it gives you really um, really poor consistent spotting if you're trying to spot over these islands. So pushing up here, that's what I'm looking for. Right off the bat, he's pushing ahead. His radar's already over the cap. I'm not even going to bother stepping on the cap. Common setup with the Darings, Smolensk, is just wait for an enemy DD to step on the cap. He gets radared, and then they get a good crack at him with a lot of really high DPM ships. So I'm just not going to play that game. I'm going to sit right outside of radar range, and I'm just going to start torping this Stalingrad. Stalingrads in particular, they're kind of a weak link against torpedoes. They can't run hydro. So it gives me a really good target to work on here. That's gonna, once this guy's gone, this really changes the landscape on C cap. I have spotted the Smolensk. He's starting to smoke up now, and he's getting ready to do Smolensk things. I'm telling my team I've got 2 torpedo hits coming in on the Stalingrad. Chunk him down fairly good.
All stations reporting the position of a strategic target.
There's our first radar. We're going to look to drive off the Daring. Unfortunately, our Moskva whiffs, and Daring leaves radar range on the Moskva, but that gives us an idea of where he's at. Now, I'm looking to play torpedo safe here. Daring can fire the nasty single-fire torpedo volleys. I'm going to pause it right here. I'm not really interested in stepping on the cap and trading my HP against a ship that has more DPM, more HP, much more HP than me, because he's got repairs, plus he's got a Smolensk right on top of him. It's just not worth it. Instead, this is my objective. I'm going to keep working on this guy. If you look, the Daring was last spotted over here. I'm using this little peninsula on the island here as a torpedo shield. And I'm just going to, when I'm going to launch my torps. I'm just gonna angle my ship so if torps start coming through here, I can just sail in behind this and use this to keep me torpedo safe. RPF will tell me where the DD is, and I can just happily keep torping the hell out of this Stalingrad. Now, I know a lot of people had questions about Summers. The ship worth it? Blah, blah, blah. How competitive is it? Well, a lot of teams brought it during King of the Sea. It's not a bad DD. I still prefer Shimakaze to Summers, but it does have excellent torpedoes, a good torpedo reload.
Engine boost activated.
And then you've got everything that goes with the U.S. Destroyers with the smoke and everything. Here I'm waiting. Okay, my Des Moines, he's not actually able to radar the Daring from where he's at. So I'm actually going to step in on the cap and try to delay this. I'm doing this to see if I can pick up the Daring. They're trying to blind fire him. And I pick him up right here. And I'm just trying to hold this long enough where these guys can get resets on him and then disengage. I don't want to risk taking a bunch of damage over this. They've got ships back here that could spot me if I was firing. So just stay in dark, and this is my objective. Just push this guy right off the cap. I landed another torpedo hit in on the Stalingrad. And I mean, this Stalingrad's really starting to get into a critical situation. And I mean, just relentless. The next round of torpedoes is up. My Moskva is popping radar on the Daring. Here I'm gonna actually shoot because I believe I've got a little bit of time to work on this guy, and then I'm just gonna smoke up.
Smoke generator started.
There's Stalingrad. He has pushed up. I just noticed this guy's inside radar range on me. But this guy's in trouble. He's really low HP. I'm just going to start adding my gunfire to the mix. My allies are kind of having a hard time scoring hits on this Stalingrad. So, really just trying to bring my guns to bear. Since I smoked, see if I can't get this guy finished off. Now at this point, we've got my Des Moines is getting ready to push up. My Moskva, he's in bad shape. So I know that this is going to get dicey on the cap here. We've got my Kremlin pushing up. I'm doing whatever I can. I thought that I might be able to get this Stalingrad. Unfortunately, he pops his repair. So I'm just going to get moving right here.
Engine boost deactivated.
Now here, what I'm planning to do, I know that my Moskva doesn't have radar. My Des Moines
Battery
not
critical.
Thank you. I know my Des Moines isn't going to be able to radar this, so I'm backing through my smoke. My plan is to basically use this smoke screen initially to basically quickly disengage if I need to. Stalingrad, however, pops his radar. I see that he's going to eat torps, so I don't want to go too far. There we go. That changes the entire dynamic for me on this cap. It eliminates their radar threat. Now my Moskva is going to go down in a trade, but At this point, you look at their positioning. They're being flanked on the 10 line. My Kremlin's pushing up, and then I'm also pushing up to add, you know, another angle of threat with my torpedoes here. And all I'm gonna do with my torpedoes, I'm switching from, okay, Stalingrad's dead. Okay, time for the Kremlin to start, you know, doing torpedo beats. Just trying to maintain vision on the Kremlin, let my Des Moines know what he's doing, try to spot the Smolensk.
All stations, concentrate fire on the target.
And that Smolensk does not want to be spotted right there when my Kremlin's pushing up.
Engine boost activated.
There's the Daring.
Smoke generator started.
Now it's important when you're playing against rapid firing ships that you get off your last known location as soon as possible. You saw how that worked out with those ships. Is even though I had disappeared, I had shots coming in. Really important that you break that line of sight, because something like a Smolensk can, even the Daring can just ruin your day during smoke. Trying to save my Des Moines from being rammed here. My battleship's able to put the Smolensk down.
Torpedoes to starboard.
And this really opens up CCAP. My Kremlin's pushing. Now it's time to finish this. Not shooting at the Daring. I want to make sure that I can get this cap quickly for my team.
Our victory is in sight.
Now comes the ritual sacrifice of how do you kill a Russian battleship? Well, you gotta ram it. Usually with another Russian battleship. I'm gonna jump in here with my guns, because why not damage farm? This game's pretty much won. And at this point, I'm just going to sail up these islands and try to be a blocking force against this Daring. He's taken quite a bit of damage, and I do believe I've got enough HP that I should be able to help tank this guy. So, the effective things that where I was effective this game, I did do a good bit of torpedo damage on the Stalingrad, rolling back the radar coverage on CCAP. 101,000 spotting damage. Really just doing a good job trying to win the vision war for my team. I don't know how much spotting damage this Daring had, but there wasn't very many occasions during this game that my team didn't have something that spotted that they could try to shoot. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this game. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Hope you're having a good night, and I will talk to you later.